Welcome. My name is Sophie. I'm from Lawyers for Lawyers, and I'm here today with Ramazan Demir, a lawyer from Turkey. We're going to speak about the work of Lawyers for Lawyers in Turkey, the current situation in Turkey, and the current situation of Ramazan Demir. Ramazan, thanks for being here with us, and thanks for being willing to answer these questions.
Thanks for having me here.
First question is, what is it like these days to be a lawyer in Turkey?
Well, I wouldn't suggest anyone to be a lawyer in Turkey nowadays, but on the other hand, especially if you are a human rights lawyer or if you are working in human rights field, there are a lot to do. It's like a huge laboratory for human rights fighters and workers. It's tough, it's dangerous, it's stressing, and it's really nervous, but at the end, to really make a change or to have a chance to make a change or to afford for something is satisfying. So basically it's tiring, but I would say it's fine.
Okay. So I guess it's pretty stressful because you're also criminally prosecuted yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain a bit more about that?
Well, actually, it's not only about me myself. Many of my friends, hundreds of my friends, my colleagues, lawyers in Turkey are being persecuted because of the cases they are dealing with, or they are identified with their clients, just simply because they are doing their profession. So we are kind of used to it. It's like it's a state tradition to persecute or to repress the lawyers just because of their human rights works against the state. So it's not only me. Yes, I have been on trial and I'm still on trial and I have been convicted, but many other lawyers like me, even hundreds of lawyers like me, are being persecuted because of their lawyer profession.
And could you give an example of one of the cases that you are prosecuted in?
My main cases that I was on pre-trial detention for 5 months is my lawyer activities. My phone was on surveillance for 4 years by the police, and they have been actually recorded, and my phone calls with my clients or my phone calls with press, with journalists, my phone calls with anyone else, but all are about my lawyer activities. For instance, I'm just telling someone I'm in the court and I'm representing the academics, and they have been put it in my case file as an evidence against me, or my applications to Human Rights Court of Europe against Turkey are evidence against me in my case file. My tweets, my Facebook posts that are, which recently actually 2 weeks ago I was again arrested, and there I was asked to publish the award that I have been received from CCBE 2016 Human Rights Award together with Aisha and Tahir Elchi. I have posted about it, and they have interrogated me just because of that post. All are being done under the anti-terror law, making terror propaganda. So these are significant examples.
And aren't you afraid doing your job?
Never.
Okay, so you will keep on doing it.
I will keep it, and I have to keep it, because I'm not representing Selahattin Demirtas. He's my colleague, he's my friend, and he's an opposition. He's the leader of an opposition party, Kurdish party, and he's in jail. How can I leave him alone? How can I leave my lawyer's friend in jail alone? How can I leave my friends, my students that I have been representing alone in prison? So this is actually not about giving up. This is just to make a change. And as long as I have this chance to make a change, I will afford for it. This is not about fear or afraid of something. If you have a fear, step back, don't do it. But once you really get involved in this field, you must either go ahead or never do it. You don't have another chance.
We at Lawyers for Lawyers know you already for a long time. Could you tell me when the first time was that you actually met representatives of our organization?
It was my first year of lawyer profession. I met them in 2012, I think, 11, 12, when 46 lawyers, friend of ours, was arrested just because of representing their client. I have met them in this mission, the international delegation mission. They were monitoring the case and I was assisting them. I was a defendant lawyer in the case as well. So that's the first time I met them, and so far we are fortunately together.
And you told me this was the first big case that you actually did because you were a fresh lawyer, just done studying. How was that? That was your first case?
Well, 46 lawyers in a field was being immediately arrested and put in jail. So I found this big case just on my desk because there were no other lawyers who can deal with such human rights case. So it was difficult just to start your career with such a mass case, with a really high profile case. It was difficult, but all it was teaching. You have to study, you have to work on the case file, which was composed of over 100 files. So it was really difficult. It took a lot of time, and at the same time to visit the lawyers in prison. Then it was 46 lawyers in prison, visiting them, preparing the defense, and make moves was tough, but at the end it was a huge experience for me as a lawyer in profession.
And this case is still ongoing. Lawyers for Lawyers has been to all the hearings in this case. Could you explain to me what that means for you and your colleagues?
It means a lot. I have always been told Lawyers for Lawyers and other international delegations, their existence in a court is a different confidence for us. They have always been our voice, they have been a hand from abroad. You feel in your arms and you feel on your shoulder. They're colleagues, you know. They're lawyers. They're for you because you're a lawyer, and that gives you courage. That gives you. They provide your strength and they encourage you, and then the feeling that you are having, that you are not alone, and there are people who are really paying attention to your work and your profession from different parts of the world, is a different confidence. I can't tell you that, but you can simply really experience it. On the other hand, for me, when I was in prison, or for my colleagues who were in prison, having them in the courtroom is a feeling that you cannot describe. It's just simply happiness, and you at that time you said, yeah, I can keep fighting because there are people who are believing in my work, and regardless of what state is thinking, I know what I did, and my work, my job, my profession, and the things that has been the reason I'm targeted, it's right, so you can keep fighting easier than before. So Lawyers for Lawyers was there for us, and it was just power and courage for us.
So Lawyers for Lawyers nominated you for the IBA Human Rights Award last year, and you also received this award. You told me today that it was almost impossible to get to Sydney to actually receive the award. Could you tell a bit more about that?
Well, it was really surprising because I didn't know that I was nominated for that. I was preparing a defense for Human Rights Court of Europe. I just received a mail and it was said, yeah, I have been awarded. It was, I didn't know what I felt, but it was just shocking. So I was banned to travel abroad because the court released me on bail, and they have banned me to travel abroad at that time. So I wanted to go the ceremony, because the previous year, in 2016, I was awarded for CCBE Human Rights Award, and I couldn't go there. But this was IBA and Lawyers for Lawyers, and I really wanted to be in Sydney. So I went to the court, who is my trial is ongoing. I told to the president of the court, the judges, please, you have to let me go. I want to be there. Those people has honored me, and I want to be there, honoring them with my existence. So they really resist. They resist, but I didn't give up. I almost slept in front of their door, and in the court I was bothering them. They were not even opening the door. They will not look in my face. I said, I will not leave here until you let me go. But at the end, it worked out. They gave up, and they gave me the permission to go abroad, and I could go to Sydney. So it was another fight for me.
And why is it important that you received this award? What kind of change did it make for you?
Receiving an award, it's always flattering. It's an honor. Like, I don't say that I deserve it, because I didn't take this award on behalf of myself. I made in my speech, I receive, and I'm having this award on behalf of all my friends. They were already in prison, and they are still in prison, because we fight together, we do together, and just having this award for me myself is not fair, and I didn't get it. It is encouraging. It's just simply really flattering you in your profession. But on the other hand, it makes your work harder than before, because you have to work more than before to really deserve this award. If this recognition is a huge recognition, but being nominated and being awarded is another responsibility, which you really must deserve this. So yes, it was just amazing. It was a gorgeous feeling to be there. But as I said, I haven't, for a single second, I haven't received that award for myself. I have received for us all, for lawyers lawyers for lawyers, for friends from all over the world, for colleagues from all over the world, for any lawyers who has been persecuted, who has been victimized by the state. So yes, it was really beautiful feeling.
And how was it received in Turkey that you actually were presented with this award? Did people know about it when you returned?
It was on press, and it was, it was very much on press. It has been published, it has been shared by the people, because for the first time someone from Turkey has been nominated and awarded for this. I received so many good congratulations. I have from many different group of people. It was quite well spread by the press as well. Many appreciation I received, many grades I received from all over the world, and for me as a Kurdish lawyer, being awarded is another honor, because I dedicated to my clients who has been died in Kerfi in the southeast of Turkey, and I dedicated to Tahir Elçi, the bar association, the president of the bar association of Diyarbakir, who had been assassinated by police. So it is, for me, the aspect is this, because I have been awarded because of my human rights works for a period that, but Tahir Elçi, without Tahir Elçi or without other colleagues, we wouldn't have this opportunity to work in this field better than that time.
So you're here for a couple of days in the Netherlands. What will you be doing here?
We will be visiting offices, we will be meeting people, and I wanted tell everyone about Lawyers for Lawyers, and I want to show people what the lawyers are doing and how it means to us their works, and how our colleagues from Turkey are really grateful to their works and their solidarity with them. So and we will see our program. We have is going to be an intense program. I will try to tell as much as I can.
So you're going to go back to Turkey in a couple of days. How do you see the future?
Dark, but hopeful.
Thank you, Ramazan, for being here, for telling us about your situation in Turkey, and also for your courageous work. That was all for today. Thank you for watching this video.